G'day guys, welcome back. I'm doing another easy peasy cells video today. Put my gloves back on. I had a pouring workshop this morning and we've got some paints left over. So if you watched the previous video, you'll see that I did the easy peasy cells video in browns, shades of brown, with a little bit of black and gold and white. So in this one I've got these paints left over. There's some navy blue, some aqua, some blue and some white. So I'm going to use those and we're going to do another easy peasy cell video. For those people that can't get cells, this is the perfect way to do it. You don't have to worry about tilting your canvas and losing any cells that you may have created, or them all going out of shape when you tilt. You still get beautiful composition, you get beautiful cells and colour, and you don't have to worry about your cells breaking or losing them. So floetrol, 3 parts floetrol to 1 part global impasto paint. If you are not in Australia and you can't get global, if you can get liquitex basics, it's pretty similar in thickness. It's kind of like yogurt. Maybe this is a little bit thinner. So 3 parts floetrol to 1 part global. And I have put in, what did we use? We used dimethicone in these colours. So I did make a little bit more of the blue up because I didn't have quite enough. So what we're going to do is just pour this out into stripes. Like so. Nice and easy. Anyone can pour stripes. This is a sheet of cardboard or thick paper. You can buy this at office supply, stationery shops. It's a 30 centimetre by 40 centimetre, which is 12 by 16 inches. And you can write on the back what you've done, what ratios you've used, and save them all up for later reference, or you can frame them and hang them up around your house. So, some pale blue, a little bit of that left. Scrape that out because that's all I've got left of that one. Now when you're doing this kind of pour, the only thing you really need to remember, because it's a swipe, this type of pour is going to be a swipe. So just remember you need to have a dark colour and a light colour. You can have some other colours in between, but you really need to have a white and a navy or a black to be able to create your cells. I have lots of navy because I really like navy, and I find that I get my best cells with navy and white. You could use black as well, but then you're going to get grey. So if you're using navy and white, you're going to get shades of blue, which is pretty, as opposed to going greys. Right, now I need more whites, a little bit of white. Okay, so we've still got some gaps, that's fine. We're going to tilt. You don't want to put too much paint on here, otherwise once you've swiped and you've got your cells, if you've got too much paint, it will move and you'll lose your shapes. So don't have too much paint on here. Hang on to the side of your card. I'm just going to tilt this to fill in these gaps. I want to come off the edge. Don't want to lose too much of my navy though, because that's all I've got left of that. Go up towards you. Go over the side. You can see how thick the paint is here. Push it all off. Hope you can still see this. Hopefully it's in frame. Need to tilt quite rough to get it to cover my gaps. A little white gap there, so I'll cover that bit. Over here there's a little bit of blank space. Just cover that. Get that over the edge. I'll turn it around and do the other side. Just want to cover up that white bit on the bottom. You can see there's already cells forming. Now that's because the paint is rubbing up against the other paint. It's overlapping. You're not going to get cells if you just have one layer of paint. It needs to be in layers, or you need to swipe the paint so that you're pulling the paint over the other paint. It's the only way you're going to get cells. Last corner down here. Okay, that's done. All covered. These are great, these cake cooling racks. You can put your card on there, paint just flows over the edge. So what we're going to swipe with today is paint chip cards. Go to your hardware store, pick a whole lot of colours that maybe aren't as popular as some. You'll see them because there'll be heaps left. Grab a handful. This is Dulux. We're going to swipe with those. They're nice lightweight. So what we're going to do is light over dark, dark over light. Don't swipe white over light blue. Nothing really is going to happen there. You need to have the contrast. You need to have white over dark, navy over light blue, something like that, okay, to get your contrast. So I'm going to start up in this corner. I'm going to bring this navy across down into the blue and white. I want to try and keep my linear pattern going, so I'm going to swipe down, but I'm going to swipe maybe a little bit of a curve so it's just not straight. So these colours can then blend into each other. As I said, that's what you need to get your cells. So if you've had trouble getting cells, try this. I can't guarantee that it's going to work for you because I don't know what paints you're using, but if you're using liquitex or golden's a little bit thinner, you probably only need 2 to 1. It should work for you. Automatically cells popping up, and that's just from the rubbing, the paint rubbing against each other, the silicone coming to the surface. Automatic cells. You don't have to worry about tilting. You don't have to worry about losing your cells that you've created because you have to tilt to cover your corners. It's a really easy way. If you're starting out and you want to make cells, give it a go. Now here I'm going to go dark down here over these light colours, and I'm going to start this way and come around because I want to drag the colours. If you just do this, all you're doing is pulling the blue onto the, or the navy onto the navy, the blue onto the blue. It's not going to work. You need to start there, bring that colour around the navy over the top of the blue to create your cells. Here we go. Doesn't matter if you miss a bit, you can always go over. So we've got some lovely lacing happening here. You can see where the navy's gone over the blue. There's not a lot happening there. That's what I said, you have to have light over dark, dark over light. It's not bad. It's nice to have a contrast. the navy over the blue there. You can see those cells there, but certainly the navy over the white gives you much more interesting cells. When your little card is dirty, turn it around or use another one. You don't want to be putting blue paint into, say, white paint. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now here, I think we'll try this light over the dark. See what happens there. That's pretty. Lots of cells automatically coming up. This is how you get lacing as well. When you have a light colour over a dark colour, you'll get lacing. So I'll put that card aside. It's been used. I'll try again. So I'm going to swipe from there down again, and then I'm going to turn around and we'll go back the other way. So this blue over, I'm not quite sure what that will do, that blue over the light blue. Give it a go. If you don't want to use a full card, you can tear it down the centre and use a thinner piece. I like the thicker ones myself. Yeah, it's okay, not as interesting. I'll turn around and I'll do navy over the top of that later on. I do want to keep some negative space, so a little bit of pale there, a little bit of navy there, a little bit of blue there, a little bit of aqua again. You don't want to cover everything in cells. You want somewhere for the eye to rest. Well, I do anyway. I think it's more pleasant to look at when you don't have just a mass of cells and you've got a little bit of structure or composition in your painting. Right, now this navy across into the blue and the white should look really pretty. And the last one, I'll just do the white over the navy because we don't want all this here. It's a bit messy looking, so we'll cover that up. That's better. You can swipe twice. Swiping once will give you the bigger cells. Swiping again, you're going to get smaller cells. See how they're smaller there? So try to just swipe once if you can. But if there's a section that you really don't like and you want to swipe again, that's fine. You'll just get slightly smaller cells. So I'm going to turn that around. Because I want to do some areas down here. So I might have to leave it that way. Because when you're swiping, you can't really start in the middle. You can't start here, you'll leave a mark. You need to start at the top. If you're going to start in the middle, start like that in one colour and come around. If you start in the middle like that, you'll see a big line. So you can tear these in half. If you just want to do a little swipe. Really great, very useful these. So I'm going to do, there's a lot of blue here, so I'm going to take some of this navy and come around into the blue. And I put a little bit of white up here. And swipe some of this white over the navy. Because I've got a lot of white there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. There's not much at the top. So I'll bring some down here. I don't have to put a lot of pressure on it, on the card. Just touch it and drag it towards you. Do it in one fluid motion. Don't do too slow. I find the faster ones create more friction and you'll get better cells. So I want to leave that little bit of blue there. I want to leave that bit of navy there. Don't really like that blob there. I don't know where that came from. And I'll put a little bit more white up here just to balance. There's a lot of white down here and not much up there. A little bit there. And where will we go with that one? Down here. maybe over the top of that white. See if there's a little bit more navy in here. Scrape it out, not much left. I do prefer to have a little bit extra navy because I really like the dark colours. They really pop against the light colours. And I'll just stop there because I want to keep some of that pale blue. And actually I don't quite like this edge here, so I might just put a little bit of white up here, and then I can drag that white down the edge here to cover that. And then I think that will be it. We have to learn when to stop. How's that? Now, a little bit of torching, just to pop any bubbles, bring up any cells that we might have that still want to come up, especially in the white, flames, turn it down, especially in the white here. There might be some more there. There's usually colour hiding under white. White's your heavier colour, tends to sit on top. Okay, that's it. Right, plenty of cells, plenty of lacing, negative space. I think that's really pretty. And these on a large canvas, you can do these as big as you want to, and you can still get a lovely effect because you don't have to pick that big canvas up, tilt it, stretch all your cells out. You can pour colours all over, different shapes, and get a beautiful effect. So I hope that's helped those people that have had trouble with getting cells. And give it a go and put your paintings up. I'm on the Australian acrylic pouring group on Facebook. I'd love to see your work. So join up and show me your work and follow our videos and see what everyone else in our group's doing. Alright, bye from Australia. I will see you next time. I'll zoom in now so that you can have a closer look.